That's interesting because I was not going to agree with you.
I love that.
Yeah, I would say I can and I would change my love for you in the way it, I mean, I guess it depends on what you would ask of me.
Well, now I want to know.
I didn't choose to love you. No. I didn't, but
Just couldn't help it alone.
yeah, I was obsessed with you. Yeah, from day one. Yeah, I know.
And so I was able to go from having been, obviously madly in love with Yuri, the single man, to being, to falling in love with Yuri the father.
I love my dad, like, unconditionally. I love him so much. Like I said, I didn't have a father figure growing up, but the moment I met him, I just like knew it was pure.
That's when you became my soulmate, and that's when I realized like my love for you is stronger than anything I've ever felt before.
He said Skype.
Skype.
He's showing his age.
What do we use now?
FaceTime, baby.
FaceTime. What's the one online that we use?
Zoom.
Zoom.
Yeah.
I think that I'm really lucky that I got to have these conversations. I think that we need to learn more about love, loving ourselves, loving our partners, loving our friends, loving our family. The list goes on. I mean, I don't think that there's ever a right way to love, and I don't think that there's ever a wrong way to love. So if I could preface this video in one way, I think that I would say to have an open mind and take something away and challenge yourself. And to start off these conversations, I think that if I could describe love in one word, I think that would be
Special.
Acceptance, selflessness,
Energy.
Warm.
Patience.
Unconditional.
boundless.
I think people desire love because, in a way, love is like comfort. People like to be comforted. People like to be in a place where they feel like they're wanted. Well, if you're loved, I feel like you receive that. Like, you feel like you just always want to be around love. Like, if it's with your partner, if it's with your best friend, if it's with your family, like, you never want to be fighting. You never want to be in distress or anything like that. You just want to be comfortable.
Yeah, I think I said this last time, like, people desire love because it's like a sense of belonging. Like, you have a family, you have someone to come to, you have, another person that you can go to and talk about anything with. Yeah, I think that's nice.
I think it's really hard right now. I know for me, I guess I'm in a weird place in my life right now where I've worked my whole life to get to the things I wanted in my career. I'm in a place where I'm like letting go of things that I've accomplished and loved to like focus on, I guess, my self-love. I met up with a friend last week and it was really interesting. She said, you've worked really hard to get where you need to be in your career paths with coaching and teaching and being a naval officer and my children, like all of that. Now you have to work really hard to give yourself some love. I guess right now I'm on the adventure of trying to get back to finding, self-love.
No, and not in a bad way. Not every day, or at least once in a while. You should always try to figure out how you can love yourself more. And that is just investing in yourself, either going out, doing something that you like, or just staying home and reading a nice book, but at least investing in you. I don't feel like there's ever an end to that.
Relationships are like any other skill or any other thing you do. You pick up a basketball and you're not LeBron James from the start, and it's the same thing with relationships. It takes work, it takes effort.
Yeah.
But you put in the work and you put in the effort and you get results.
Yeah.
We actually, I think, talked about this the other day. Like, I would like to be taken out on a date, like, relatively soon, because because we haven't in a while. Like, truly and honestly, we haven't been out on a date in a while because we didn't have the time. And
Which is
so
different when we used to go on a date at least once a month or at least
once a week.
We'd be always out, but I felt like it was more of since we had to because we were living separately, so that when we were out, we had that time with each other to spend. And now that we live with each other, it's kind of like we like being home more.
I feel like I knew I was in love with you when I came to the realization that even if I wasn't going to be the person you ended up with, I would always be there for you in whatever capacity you needed me to be. That's when I knew
How she's my soulmate. She's like my comfort person. Like I could always go to her. She's always been a big part of my life. And even though she is really far and I haven't seen her very consistently, I know I could always call her up. She's always going to be there for me. And that's what a soulmate is to me. Someone that's going to be there for you no matter what, no matter how far they are, no matter how difficult it is to get to them, like they're always going to be there for you.
I feel like because of the fact that like our soul or our spark or like the energy that is us has just been recycled through, you know, countless other people. But you meet them in all sorts of ways. Like it's not necessarily like a romantic partner. You know, like I have like best friends that I swear I must have known in other lives because, you know, you just have that immediate connection. So you can have platonic soulmates.
Like I know I love my brothers, but like it's not like in my mind that I'm like I love my brothers. Just a few months ago I went and watched like a movie. It was like this group of brothers. They all wrestled together. I think 4 out of the 5 died. And then at the end of the movie, he was like, I'm not a brother anymore. And then I started crying because I started thinking about my brothers. Like I've been there, just like wrestling with my brothers. That's all I've known. And if someone were to take that away from me, I'd be so devastated. So like I literally, as soon as I got in my car, I just texted my brothers like, I love you guys. Like, thank you. It's just something I don't think about. I know I love them, but I don't think about it. I definitely need to like be more open to just be like, hey, I love you. Thanks for doing whatever it is you do. Whether it's being my brother, whether if you want to be or not, you are. So.
Even like you know, parents and children sometimes just have like this deep connection that you can't explain, and I think that those are those soulmates.
I think to myself sometimes I'm like, I don't know if like anyone could actually like accurately describe this. Like, oh, like, well, yeah, you know, like you have children, like things change and stuff like that and whatnot. But it's like I don't think you really know just what you're signing up for until you're there, and it's like on a whole nother level.
Seeing JT be a father, like I feel like we love our sons equally. And I also think about people who like can't have kids naturally or like adopt or same-sex couples. I think they love their kids just as much as we love our kids. Just because it didn't come directly from them or like whatever the situation is, you can still have like that total bond with your baby and your kid.
The first time I went over to his house, he like went and bought a bunch of toys because he's like, I don't know what kids like, so he just bought like a bunch of stuff he saw, and so I was like, oh, this guy's kind of cool. Like he bought us toys. He bought us like an air mattress so we could jump on it. Like it was just like dumb little things that I was like, it's just like what a dad is supposed to do. Like I tell people this all the time. He's like my best friend.
Just knowing that, you know, I don't love my daughter because she's the smartest or the most athletic or et cetera, et cetera. I love her because she's mine, and that's all that's necessary.
Yeah.
So.
I think that we don't talk about love enough, and I think it's something that needs to be talked about more. I think that if there's one thing I found out doing these interviews and having these conversations, it's that love is always changing. And I don't think it's something that we can always fully have a grasp on. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I think that we need to challenge ourselves.